What natural remedy is antibacterial, antiviral, anti-fungal, anti-tumoral, boosts your immune system, helps you balance your hormones, brings healing on a cellular level, and even promotes emotional wellness? Sound too good to be true? Well, let's listen to what God has to say about that. According to the prophet Ezekiel, in chapter 47, he says, along the bank of the river, on this side and that, will grow all kinds of trees used for food. Their leaves will not wither, and their fruit will not fail. They will bear fruit every month because their water flows from the sanctuary. Their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for medicine. What is Ezekiel talking about? Well, today on Biblical Health TV, radio, and live stream, we have got Biblical Health Television co-founder and expert Dr. Kim Goldman, and she's going to be discussing ancient biblical wisdom and modern science in their leaves for medicine. Get the health you were created to have. Yes, get the health you were created to have. You can do this. Now may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely, and may you be preserved blameless in body, soul, and spirit at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the Messiah. That is 1 Thessalonians 5:23. Yes, you should know that. That is the watchword of Biblical Health TV and the watchword of your life, to be preserved completely, blameless, holy, body, soul, and spirit. That's what you want. That's what Biblical Health is, and that's what Biblical Health TV and radio is all about. Thank you for joining the revolution. I am not a doctor. Not a doctor. Can we see that? Is that clear? Not a doctor. I am not a doctor. Hi, I'm Goldman, the executive producer of Biblical Health Television, and I'm so happy to have you joining us here today on the Revolution, on the Revolutionary Show. But you know what? In the studio today, not from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but in the studio today, we have a doctor sitting right next to me. This is so exciting. Dr. Kim Goldman.
Hello.
Did I get your name right? Am I pronouncing that right?
I think so. I hope you know by now.
This is my wife.
Yes.
Which is the camera? There's the camera. This is my wife, Dr. Kim Goldman. Where are the children, honey?
Oh, I sent them out. They're running errands.
Errands for us. Good. Just to be away from the children for a little while. Kim was willing to do a radio show if I said, we'll get someone to watch the children. Homeschooling mom here of 6 children. And we're going to be talking about healing from plants today. Yes, very exciting. Well, before we get to that, let me tell you, we're taking a break this week from this Lessons for Healthy Living, this very amazing series that we did, Lessons for Healthy Living 2.0. We have been going through this in the week-by-week program. We took a break, as we did after 6 modules in the conference there. I'm over there at the conference. When we did it, after 6 modules, we took a little break. We did spring cleaning. And you should go and get that. I'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. We have a free ebook on spring cleaning. And we will return next week, but we're taking a little break to do this. But at lessonsforhealthyliving.com, you can get your Lessons for Healthy Living DVD or online version and go through that with us. And this spring cleaning body, soul, and spirit that we did last week with Drs. Jeff and Andrea Hazim, you can get that at biblicalhealth.tv/spring cleaning, just like it says there on your screen. Go get that free ebook and clean yourself up, because we are cleaning house this spring. That's where we are, or whenever you happen to be watching this program. Could be years from now. Now, we have to do this because we're talking about health, and neither one of us are medical doctors, and so we always have to do a disclaimer. And that disclaimer is simply this: you're responsible for yourself. Do you get that? You're responsible. Don't listen to guys in white coats, unless they happen to be me. Don't listen to us. Go research this for yourself. But we want to help you out. We're going to be sharing information and experience that we have. We hope it's beneficial to you. But in the realm of health, natural health, we have to tell you you're sovereign. But doesn't that feel good for the health of you and your family? So take this information, be a health Berean, go out, research it, figure out what to do, and find your health. Now, Dr. Kim, we're over to you.
All right.
So this healing plants that we're talking about in the time of the Bible, you know, people were using just plants. I mean, real medicine before we got to synthetic medicine is always plant-based. Right. But there's this distillation of essential oils. People may have heard of them. We've learned about them a long time ago, but really started using them relatively short time ago in our health career. What are essential oils? Well,
basically, essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. So you have to keep in mind, plants don't have legs. They can't run away if there is a predator coming or if the weather gets bad, you know, they can't just take a hike inside and sit in front of the fire. So they have to produce what they need inside of them in order to protect them from whatever's going on around them. So now all plants make two types of oils. There's fatty oils, like what you think of olive oil or something that you might cook with.
Like an avocado?
Like an avocado is very high in a fatty oil. Those are very good and they serve a purpose. But what we're focusing on is the essential oils. And that's really where the power is in what we're going to talk about. The essential oils are so powerful, they regulate the plant growth, just like hormones do. They help with metabolism, like enzymes. They boost the immune system to ward off viruses and parasites and other things. And, you know, God created the plants for us and they serve the same, we found out they can serve the same purposes in people with help with metabolism, help ward off viruses and bacteria and, you know, metabolize nutrients, all of that. And just like when plants get cut and they bleed, the fluid comes out, it helps to heal. Well, we found out, and you'll tell a story later about if you cut yourself, using these essential oils can actually help with healing. Yeah. So that's what they do.
Okay, well, from a biblical perspective, which we always want to cover on this program, of course, Biblical Health TV is the biblical perspective. Essential oils are mentioned in the Bible, not just in Ezekiel that we talked about, but it seems that back in Bible times, or they say, or the times of the temple, that some very important people were actually entrusted with ministering to the people with these oils. So give us some biblical background.
Absolutely. They are mentioned so very many times. You know, there's so many different plants that mentioned, but what you're mentioning, referring to, I think, is the Levitical priests. You know, they were in charge of making the oils for ointments. And if you think of the word anointment, it's actually an ointment, and that's what it is.
Well, they were the doctors, right? If you were a leper or whatever, you were the one, right?
They were the doctors, and the stuff that they made wasn't only for the temple and you know, the tabernacle. It wasn't just the holy places, it was for the people. So if you had an ailment, you came to the priest and you got prayed for and anointed. And they were in charge of that. So it was a very big part of life. And it's wonderful the way they knew to keep body, soul, and spirit together. They didn't send someone out to the medical doctor who needed healing. No, he went to the priest. And aren't we supposed to do the same with our bodies, the holy temple, and incorporate healing, health, body, soul, and spirit together with God and prayer, just like they did?
Right, combined.
Exactly. Sure. So I love to think about the combination when we talk about anointing, which is what people most closely associate with oil. You know, many of us have been to a prayer meeting where they might say, who needs healing? Everyone come to the front, and, you know, they'll stick a dot of olive oil on your forehead.
Some Crisco.
Right, some Crisco. Oh gosh, I hope not. On your forehead, and they'll pray. But it's so much more than that. In the Bible times, almost every time anointing with oil is being discussed, it was almost always an aromatic, which means an essential oil that actually helped with the healing on a physical level, not only spiritual.
Right, because we know that the Bible is the greatest health book ever created, and these leaves are for the healing, and so it was very natural. We when we get down to our times where we break things up into all little pieces and we don't see the holistic nature of all this, we forget this stuff and we lose it.
Right. So, you know, they knew what they were doing. And of course, in James, the scripture, which reads and tells us what to do if someone's sick, he says in James 5:14, is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church. Let them pray over him, anointing him with the oil in the name of the Lord. This is what we're instructed to do. And it's just a perfect picture.
Yehovah,
Yahweh, right? Yahweh, okay. However you think his name is.
Pray the name.
Definitely pray the name. Yeah. So, you know, that's what they did. It was a common part of life, as it should be for us.
Okay, let's go back to more of the science. And I know that when it comes to this, the way this world is, only drug companies can claim results, right? On anything. And then they have, you know, the result and then 50 seconds of all the possible side effects of things going on. So we can't claim that these do anything, right? Nope. But we can talk about experience. We can talk about things that people have experienced that we know, but we're not making any claims. Are we
We
clear?
do not diagnose or treat any disease.
There we go. We got the legalese in there. So that aside, what have you heard and what have you experienced that quite possibly these oils can do in the human body?
Well, one of the things that's amazing is because they're very, very small on a molecular level. And because of that, they can permeate the cell wall. Now, think about what that means. We're talking about cellular detox and healing on a cellular level, which is, the smallest building block. If you can heal inside the cell, think what that can do in your body. Now, that's huge. Also, because they're so small, their molecules can come up through the air and we smell them. Now, their fragrance is very, very important. We smell them. They go actually into your brain and affect your limbic system. Now, that's where your body stores all of your emotions. Many times people have emotions they can't deal with and sort of stuff them away. And this can actually help you to release that.
Well, I realize here in North Carolina, we have a lot of woods. We go out, when you go and you walk in the woods, you walk outside, there are all these trees. The plants are giving off their aroma, their oils, and you feel refreshed. You come back feeling healthy and peppy and refreshed. And not only have you been getting fresh air, but you've been taking in the aromas of these plants.
Of course,
so people have experienced this already.
God knew what he was doing when he planted Adam and Eve in the garden, and not in a high rise, right? Because they had essential oils. They were breathing them all the time. It was part of their life. So, not only the molecules small, but they're very high antioxidants. Everyone wants antioxidants because they're getting rid of the free radicals,
If you don't know what they are, we've done programs on that, so you can go back and learn about antioxidants.
So, but just to give you a little example of what I'm talking about as far as power, okay? There's something called the ORAC scale, which is the oxygen radical absorption capacity. It's a scale that measures the capability of something to destroy a free radical, okay? So all live foods, for example, are on this scale somewhere. The higher the score, the more capable. So, for example, carrots have a score of 210. Okay, raspberries 1,220, higher than carrots. But listen to this. Clove oil, which is one of the oils in the thieves blend, which we'll talk about later, so high it's over 1 million. Over 1 million. As far as I know, that may be the highest of any substance. I don't know if that's the case, but that's huge. Just think about how using that oil can destroy that in free radicals in your body.
The rust going on in your body.
Exactly. So they also have a very high magnetic frequency. And so we know that everything has electric frequencies associated with it. And disease happens when your body gets to a low frequency. Death occurs when you're, at zero.
You're not vibrating
somewhere. At all. And so anything that you can do that would lift your body's frequency will help you be healthier and, take away the chance for disease. And so this helps to do that. That's been shown.
Is that it?
That's it for that. Well,
we're covering stuff so quickly here. There's so much to this, but I appreciate you trying to distill it down for us, pun intended. So what are the ways that people use essential oils? We know that we use them in our house in different ways, and we enjoy them in different ways. And people may have experienced aromatherapy, right? They've gone maybe to a massage therapist, and the room smells nice. But there's more, especially on these ones that are food grade, that are therapeutic grade.
Right.
How do we experience essential
oils?
Well,
there's 3 different ways that they can be used. One, like you mentioned, is smelling it. Now that's important, and it does more than you think. I used to think aromatherapy is just, smelling something that smells good. Well, what good does that do? How could that actually be therapy? Well, it can. And like I mentioned earlier,
the brain and the nose is really
the brain and the nose are connected. And also when you smell something, it goes through your lungs and enters your bloodstream. Now think about that. That's why it's not good to be smelling harsh chemicals. Right. Some people smell chemicals to get high. In a bad way. And that's proof that when you smell something, it is going into your body, and that's really important. And so think about that, doing it positively, something that might help you, but also staying away from something that's toxic.
And so we have a diffuser that's lovely.
A diffuser is a little machine. It puts the oil out into the air, and it's great for a whole room of people. Not only does it smell great, but it's actually helping you with the healing in the ways that we mentioned. But besides that, you can put it topically on your skin. We rub it on the neck often or on the bottoms of the feet because it's a good way to for a quick absorption. Or obviously, if you have a place, if you have a cut or something, you'd want to put it right there because you're trying to affect that area, whether it's disinfecting.
And people don't realize so much that what goes on your skin, it's almost like eating. I mean, it goes very short amount of time, goes right into the bloodstream. So be careful about your cosmetics and anything else that you put on your skin, because if you wouldn't eat it,
you shouldn't put it on your skin. And that's really a big paradigm shift to think about that. But that's also why it's so important to have a very high quality. The third way that I'm about to mention is ingesting it. And I'd say you should never ingest an oil if you aren't confident of the quality. Now, we use a brand called Young Living. We're very confident in the quality, and that's why we choose that brand. But I would say never ingest an oil if you aren't certain of the quality. But you know what? I'd say the same thing about putting it on your skin or smelling it because of all the reasons we just said. Anything that you smell or put on your skin is going into your body.
Make sure you get something that you can trust it.
Exactly.
You can trust the manufacturer. You can trust what's in, no synthetics, what's inside it.
Right, because some people put solvents and fillers in it, or it's chemical. Okay. You can get a shampoo that smells good. That doesn't mean it's
so they're not all created
killing
equal.
You. Definitely not all created equal.
Okay, so we use them a bunch. I was skeptical at first until we started getting them. We had friends who got them and have been talking to us about it for years. And then finally you decided to get it. And shortly after that, I got ill. I woke up with a raging headache and a problem. And so, can I try these on you? Now, I normally would just suffer in pain because I don't use pharmaceuticals.
Right, we
drink a lot of water, I fast. We don't do that. So Kim said, hey, can I try this? And wow, I became less of a skeptic. I'm still, it's my job to be a skeptic. But as we've been doing these more and more, I just keep seeing the benefits of it. So let's give some examples of how we use them.
In our family, we have personally had good results with using them for, oh my gosh, so many things every day. Headaches, upset stomachs, nausea, difficulty sleeping, fussy babies, children who are just kind of need to chill out a little bit. Some of them are a little high strung sometimes.
No Ritalin, but if you can find something natural to chill them out, it's fair game. It is.
Right. Headaches, bug bites, scrapes, burns. I mean,
even for poison ivy.
Poison ivy
to get the itch of poison.
We got one of our sons had a wart that we had difficulty making it go away, and one of the oils really helped with that. So I mean, we're talking every day. There's a kit of oils that they call the everyday oils because you really do use them every day, and we do. We really, really do.
Now you've suffered from seasonal allergies, and when we moved up here, there's a lot of trees, a lot of plants. The season around here is really long.
Oh yeah.
You started suffering. What did you do?
I did, and I hadn't. I was not a habitual. I didn't grow up having allergies, but when we moved to Charlotte, I wasn't used to whatever grows around here, and so I found out about using lavender oil. I have some right here. And, first I was smelling it and rubbing it on my neck. Oh, it smells so good.
We're going to be smelling a lot of oil shortly.
Sorry, we don't have smell-o-vision, but you can pretend. I put a few drops under my tongue and, the itchy eyes and the itchy throat and the sneezing and went away. And, because it's natural and helps bring my body into balance, I'm not worried about taking too much. I could take it as much as I want whenever I need to, and it helps.
And now Kim mentioned I was doing landscaping last I guess spring, and with a saw. And at the end of the day, I still do have a scar here from it. I went deep into my finger with a saw, and I could not get it to stop bleeding. And we didn't have the pure oil of something that's, what's it called?
It's called helichrysum.
Helichrysum. We didn't have the pure oil. It's very expensive, but one of the blends that we have has it in it.
Yes.
And it was like an hour and a half later. It was not. I had gauze, couldn't get it to stop. Put a couple drops in, and it stopped the bleeding. It stopped the bleeding. It was amazing. And it was, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. And I didn't end up getting stitches. I ended up using the oils until it healed, and the scar gets less and less, but I didn't go to the hospital, and it didn't get infected, and it healed. So that was just another use, saying, hey, we got it, let's try it.
Right.
Okay. So
yes,
we're going to go into some oils now. This is my favorite part because we're going to be opening up bottles, and again, sorry we don't have the smell-o-vision. This is like cooking shows. People said, what's the purpose of a cooking show? You can't eat it, you can't taste it when you're watching it at home. We made it, you can't have any, but you can get these these at some point if you want. But let's go through some of our favorite oils here and share what they're about. What people say they're about.
Well, I'm going to start with lavender because a lot of people are familiar with lavender. It's really popular. People use it in body lotions and shampoos. And let's smell that again. They call this one the Swiss Army knife of essential oils because, I mean, it slices and dices and, makes fries practically. It does everything. But it has so many applications, honestly. Good for relaxing, we already know. And also, it's wonderful for burns. I should keep it in the kitchen, honestly. If you put some lavender on a burn, not only does the pain go away, but it doesn't blister and turn into whatever it would.
So this is the oil that they say if you're going to have like one oil, like a Swiss Army knife, have it around.
And if you don't know what to use, go for the lavender because chances are, not only disinfectant. Of course, if a child falls down outside and comes in with a bloody knee, I can put the lavender on to disinfect and heal
while you're
calming them down. And it calms them down because it's so relaxing all at the same time. How can you go?
We got to move on. Let's go. I know this is a favorite because we still have a baby in the house. And this peace and calming is wonder for putting the baby back to sleep. Or if he's fussy at all.
Fussy babies.
I don't know if I'll do that. We might
take a nap. I put this on before I go to sleep at night. It's just so nice, and it's a blend. It has tangerine, orange, ylang-ylang, all kinds of good things in it. That plus Valor. When I go to sleep, it's just nice deep sleep.
Now, what is Valor?
Valor has it's good for calming down, and it's also good for giving you strength and making you feel courageous.
I know. Sometimes when I'm writing and I want to get sort of you're just strong and confident, not necessarily pepped up, but I like the Valor. And the Valor they call liquid chiropractic, right?
Yes, that's true.
You put it on your spine.
Before or after an adjustment, and it's supposed to really help with that.
Because it has something along the same harmonic frequency of the spine.
Yes, something like that.
Some kind of energy medicine kind of thing. Okay, thieves. People know about the thieves. Let's talk about it. This is great. We're now sort of at the end of the winter, but people are still getting colds. This is great immune booster.
I had one last week. I had a cold last week, and I was using this, and it's
so what's the story? There's a legend behind thieves.
There is a legend. The legend about the thieves' oil. During the Black Plague in the 15th century, there were a band of robbers that would smell that that managed to go into the houses where people had died, and no one else would go near because if you go near a dead body, even you get sick and die.
These bodies.
They were robbing the bodies, robbing the homes, and not getting sick. And they finally got caught. But they were offered a reduction in their sentence if they would tell what their secret was. And it's the point that what happened is they were perfumers and they knew the power of these oils. This one has, what does this have? Cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And they would put it on their handkerchief over their mouth and not get sick. And so thanks to them, we have this. It's such good immune boosting.
We do this. I actually do this in gelatin capsules and take it internally, a couple of drops when I feel something coming on. Right. And I went through your cold or whatever it was. It was pretty bad and didn't get ill. Yeah. So thank you to the thieves, I think, and some sleep and good hydration. That's good too. It's not just the oils. Okay. Yes. What are we doing next? Lemon?
Okay. Well, lemon, anyone knows this. When you cut into a lemon, you can always smell it right away. It's uplifting and it's energizing and refreshing and cleans, sanitizes, smells great. And if you drink a drop in your water, it helps you with detoxing the liver. You drink a drop first thing in the morning.
Some people help with digestion.
Yes.
Okay.
And some people have found that it helps them to lose weight. I think it does something.
We're not making those claims.
We're not making those. Some people have experienced that.
Now, what we'll say is this will tend to float on the water. And what you found, because at first you used a plastic cup.
Oh, yes.
And it actually, because it's in a way, so lemon is so strong, and actually it can act as a solvent in some ways, right? It actually marred the cup.
Yes,
so
only in a
glass, or can you use stainless steel?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, so we just want to let you know that if you're going to drink these oils, and some of them, the oils along the way, check, because not all of them are supposed to go internal. They're not all
recommended for that.
For internal, but lemon definitely is. And we've used it for cooking. if we wanted something quickly because these are all foods.
You also mentioned a solvent. Remember our son, he got hot glue gun stuck on his sweater. This takes it right off.
Wow.
Eats through any sticker stuff.
Okay, we got a short time left. What's become my absolute favorite for so many reasons is peppermint.
Oh, yes.
So the peppermint. I actually breathe this before each show. Not a cup of coffee, but I breathe this before each of the program because it makes me peppy. It wakes me up. It opens up. It opens up my nasal passages. So what else?
Good for sinuses, headache, dot a little bit on your forehead. Feels so good.
I did that with headaches. I'll tell you, and everybody I've turned on to this has experienced the same results. You get a headache. You're probably dehydrated. You should drink some water, but take some and rub it into your temples and across the brow, and it knocks out a headache. I couldn't believe it. This is when I got ill, and I said, I don't believe this, because this is one of those ones that I just felt this was going to be around for a while, and about 20 minutes, a half hour later, I said, this is great. So I love that. Plus, after you rub it on there, you lick your finger, and it's a breath mint. Hey, what could be? And we cook with this too. It helps
with digestion also if you're nauseous.
Okay, we got 1 minute left, and we want to go, because it's biblical health, and everybody thinks about frankincense.
Right.
So we got frankincense, right? This was brought to Jesus, the baby is not in this bottle, but the raw frankincense. This is the essential oil.
So exciting.
What do they use for this? What do they use this for?
It is good also for so many things. It actually it stimulates melatonin. If you have trouble going to sleep, I use it for that. People find it helps when they're going into their prayer time. It seems to have a spiritual connection, and God created this for a reason. There must be something to it.
And there's a reason why the wise men were bringing it to the Chaldean astronomers were bringing it to him for a purpose.
There's also some evidence that it does kill cancer cells. Some evidence.
We never say that. You did not hear that here.
But there is some evidence.
But there's some evidence that people have treated themselves with that. That's how powerful it is.
Yes.
Wow. Well, there are like, thousands of oils, right? Or hundreds and hundreds. Basically, every plant has an oil. So these were the basics, or what we call
these are my favorites.
Essential. What I needed to say quickly is these are Young Living oil. Where am I? Over here. These are Young Living oils. These are the ones that we got exposed to because friends of ours were using them. These are the ones that we use. And these are the ones for Biblical Health Television that we've chosen. We are not saying that they are the only ones that you can get. They are the only ones that are good. It's just the ones that we've chosen, the ones that we're experienced with, and the ones that we recommend, because here we don't recommend things on Biblical Health TV that we don't have personal experience with. So
we trust them.
And we trust. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. We've looked into the company and everything, and this is what we use. But just if you're using another kind or you want to research another kind, again, it's up to you. Look into it and figure it out. But for more information from our perspective at Biblical Health TV, please go now after the show to biblicalhealth.tv, right? That's always our website, and then /essential oils, like what you're seeing on the screen. And there we have more information here, there about oils and information about them, and also getting them, because if you want to get them, we want you to be able to get them. And we're always very transparent. We decided to go with these as a product for us. And so when you get them through us, because if you get them from somebody, you might as well get them through us. It supports our ministry here at Biblical Health TV. And I'll let you know, we do, if you ever came by here, we have a box of oils. We got this to be the medicine cabinet of the office here, and getting people more into oils. So we take the oils and we put them out here. Well, we have to finish up. Dr. Kim?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the program. It was a pleasure having you here. And I know you had a pleasure, just even if it was getting away from the children for a half an hour. So very quickly, as we finish up, lessonsforhealthyliving.com. You want to go over there and get it, because next week, Module 7 with Dr. Andrea Hazim and the neglected fruit. Oh, that's that self-control thing, I think. And again, biblicalhealth.tv /essential oils. Thank you for joining the revolution here at Biblical Health TV. We're here every Monday at 2 p.m. and in the archives for the radio program. And thank you so much for joining the revolution. Get healthy and get what the Creator has for you. Thanks for joining us.